What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going over the top 10 school districts in the Rochester area. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday and Thursday that I release a new video. That being said, as much as I love making these videos on all things living, breathing, eating, sleeping, playing, and working in the Rochester and Finger Lakes regions, I would love even more to help you with those real estate needs. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, be sure to reach out to that information that's on the bottom of your screen. I am the guy that answers those text, emails, and phone calls. So again, whether you're moving in 9 or 90 days, it's never too soon to reach out and get the process started and start getting the information that you might need to be able to relocate from wherever you're coming from over here to the Rochester and Finger Lakes region. So one of those things that is super important I'm going to be going over in this video, it's not necessarily the most fun video, but it is super important nonetheless, is the top 10 school districts in the Rochester and Finger Lakes area. And this is not according to me. This is not my personal opinion. This is according to niche.com. So you can go and you can find all this data on niche.com. I'm just giving it to you here in video form, so it's quicker for you, so you don't have to do the research, and so that you can reach out for further questioning when it comes time for you and your family to relocate. And again, we're diving into niche.com, so this is not my personal opinion. I'm not steering you in any sort of way. Just keep that in mind when I'm going through these. I'll just be going over some brief bullet points as I go through all 10 of these schools, kind of where they're located in proximity to Rochester City, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, so rolling right along into it, number one, the top school in the Rochester area is going to be Brighton Central School District. Brighton Central Schools are located just southeast of Rochester City, wedged between Pittsford and Rochester. So Brighton is one of your more diverse schools, and it is ranked the number 14th best school districts in New York State. So that is great considering there's 672 schools in New York State. Now, as far as teachers go, it's number 15 on districts with the best teachers in New York State. So that's great. It's a B+ in diversity, overall niche score of A+. So Brighton Schools is great. They have A+ in academics, A+ in teachers, an A in clubs and activities, that's extracurriculars, A+ in administration, A+ in college prep, and a B+ in diversity. So when you're looking at a lot of these things, Brighton is just, top tier school. Average graduation rate is 95%. Average SAT score is 1,300. Average ACT score is a 30. And then the most popular colleges for Brighton graduates is University of Rochester, which is an A+ university. Cornell University, which is an amazing university as well, A+, and then University at Buffalo SUNY. So University of Buffalo, obviously being out in Buffalo, it's A-, still a great university. So those are the top three. Now, I had mentioned the diversity. The diversity ranking is a B+. That's based on racial and economic diversity and survey responses on the school culture and diversity from students and parents. So that's a B+. One super important thing to touch on with these schools is that Brighton Central School has a student to teacher ratio of 13:1. So 13 students per one teacher. That is phenomenal. That's great. That is not too many students for the teacher. And, it's one of the better ratios. The national average for student to teacher ratio is 17:1. So, significantly less students per teachers, and so that is just outstanding. That means your student can get more one-on-one time with that teacher. So overall, living in the Brighton area is an A+ niche grade. So cost of living is a B, A+ for good for families, A- for housing. So median household income is a $75,000, almost $76,000. So Brighton Central Schools, you really can't go wrong with it. It's number one on the list for a reason, and again, according to niche.com. So coming in at number 2 is Pittsford Central Schools. So Pittsford Central is the next town over from Brighton, just a little bit southeast of Brighton. The PGA Tour was just held in Pittsford at Oak Hill Country Club. And Pittsford Central Schools has an overall niche.com grade of A+. So again, another great school district. That's an A+ in academics, A+ in teachers, an A in clubs and activities, a C+ in diversity, A+ in college prep, and an A in administration. So Pittsford is great with all of those rankings. It is number 11 in the best school districts for athletes in New York. So if athletics is something that you care about in your family, then Pittsford is amazing for that. And I can attest to that, having gone to Canandaigua Academy. Pittsford was always a very stiff competition. Their athletes are very good, you know, especially their individual sports, like their track and cross country, those kind of sports. Those, you know, they're just very good. They're swimming, they're just skiing. Literally all their individual sports are just above par on virtually every basis. So, and it comes in at number 19 on the best schools in New York State. So the average graduation rate is 97%, average SAT is 1320, average ACT is 30. So those scores seem to be a little bit better than Brighton. But it seems like Brighton had a better administration, maybe some better diversity. Now, the popular colleges that Pittsford graduates go to, it's a A+ Cornell University, University of Rochester, and University at Buffalo. So we're going to be seeing those top 3 probably on a lot of these school districts here coming up. So those are all fantastic, fantastic universities. And this student to teacher ratio is a 12-to-1, so 1 student less than Brighton. So that's great. And we're going, so Pittsford is a little bit more expensive than Brighton, I think. It's rated a B on cost of living, A on housing, and A+ for good for families. The median household income, so get this, is just about $125,000. So significantly more than Brighton. Like we've mentioned in many videos before, Pittsford is a little bit more of your affluent area, which speaks to why the schools are so good, why the athletics are so good. It's just more affluent. Coming in at number 3 is Penfield Central Schools, and Penfield is just one town over from Pittsford. And so Penfield is another phenomenal school district. Overall niche.com grade of A+. Got A+ in academics, A+ in teachers, A+ in clubs and activities, C+ in diversity, so a little bit less diverse, A in college prep, and A in administration. So it is number 40 in best school districts in New York State. And average graduation rate of 96%, average SAT of 1290, average ACT of 29. And then your most popular colleges are going to be University at Buffalo, Rochester Institute of Technology. So RIT, that's one we haven't seen yet. RIT is a phenomenal school. And then Binghamton University. Binghamton is essentially an Ivy League school. So Binghamton is great. And student to teacher ratio of a 12-to-1. So let's see. Overall niche grade of the Penfield area is an A. You got a B for cost of living, B+ for housing, and a good for families grade of A-. Your median household income is $83,000. And so Penfield, you can't go wrong with Penfield either. I do know actually their athletics are above par as well for the area. They are just phenomenal at basically everything that they do. Number 4 is one that is, I think it's relatively new to this top list, is West Irondequoit Central Schools. So West Irondequoit is located just northeast of Rochester City. And it has an overall niche grade of an A. So it's A in academics, A in teachers, A in clubs and activities, B+ in diversity. It's A in college prep, and it's B in administration. So West Irondequoit is great. It's number 39 in New York State for best school districts for athletes. Number 69 in best school districts in New York State. So, and then it's 163 in most diverse school districts in New York State. So again, located just northeast rather of the city of Rochester. And you have average graduation rate. Wow, look at this, 98%. You have an average SAT of a 1220, average ACT of 28. And then your most popular colleges are going to be RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, University at Buffalo, and St. John Fisher University. St. John Fisher is amazing as well. You have a 12-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, which is great. And you have, in Irondequoit, overall niche grade is A. So you got a B plus cost of living, B in housing, and A for good for families. Your median household income in Irondequoit is going to be just about $69,000. Coming in at number 5, and let me tell you, I hate this one, really just because it's my high school rivals, and that is Victor Central Schools. Victor is a phenomenal school district. Overall niche grade of A in academics, A plus in teachers, A plus in clubs and activities, C plus in diversity, A in college prep, and A minus in administration. So we've talked about on a few of these best schools for athletes in New York State. Victor Central School is number 1 for best school for athletes. I know that to be 100% true. Having been rivals with them growing up, they are very good at sports, and you know, it's just they spend so much time with their students in athletics, and they put a lot of time and effort and hard work into, you know, what they do, not just academics, but the athletic side as well. So they're number 71 in New York State for best school districts. And so your average graduation rate is 95%. Average SAT rather is 1250. Average ACT is 28. So great scores. Your most popular colleges are going to be University at Buffalo, RIT, and Cornell University. And then your student-to-teacher ratio is going to be 12-to-1. And Victor, for the township, overall niche grade is going to be an A+. You got a B- for cost of living. It is a little bit more expensive there. A- for housing. There's just not tons of options. And then A+ for good for families. It's great for families. I mean, you got great schools, you got a great area, you got a lot to do going on in Victor. So median household income is just about $100,000. So a little bit more affluent as well, just like Pittsford. So a lot going on in Victor. It goes to show why they're number 5 on this list here. So, and number 6 on the list is going to be Fairport Central Schools. Fairport is phenomenal. We did a Fairport tour, or we did a few videos on Fairport on the channel if you go back a few videos. Overall niche grade of the Central School District is an A. You have A in academics, A+ in teachers, A- in clubs and activities, C+ in diversity, A in college prep, and B+ in administration. Now, it's number 83 in New York State for best school districts. And it's 102 in New York State for best athletes. And so if you're a teacher moving to the area, district with the best teachers is Fairport at coming in at number 32 in New York State. So average graduation rate is a 93%. Average SAT is 1270. Average ACT is a 29. Most popular colleges that Fairport students go to are University at Buffalo, Rochester Institute of Technology, and Binghamton. So all great universities, and this is the lowest ratio that we've seen. They have 11-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, so that is just great for the students. They can spend more time with the teachers there. And then Fairport as a township overall is a niche.com grade. And then it's a B for cost of living, B+ for housing, and A+ for good for families. Median household income is going to be $79,000. Fairport is just a great area. We love Fairport. Fairport's one of my favorite areas in the area, or one of my favorite towns in the area, rather. There's just a lot going on in Fairport, good proximity to different things, and it's just a beautiful town. You got the canalway there, so it's just a lot going on. It's just a great area, and the school districts being number 6 on the list, you know, just goes to show how great Fairport is. Coming in at number 7 for best school districts in the Rochester area is Honeoye Falls, Lima, HFL, Central Schools. So HFL has an overall niche.com grade of an A. It's A+ in academics, A in teachers, A in clubs and activities, C- in diversity, A in college prep, and B+ in administration. They are number 92 in New York State for best school districts and number 153 in New York State for best athletes. HFL is a great school. It's a little bit more out in the, the country, if you will. It's basically directly south of Rochester, down past Brighton, past Henrietta, into kind of like the Rush-Mendon area. So on a map, you're looking north of like Canadice, you're looking north of Canisius, and, north of like Richmond, kind of in between Canandaigua and Geneseo. So, Honeoye Falls, Lima, it's a great kind of like a country location. It feels like you're out there, but you're still pretty close to the city of Rochester and things to do. Average graduation rate in HFL is 95%. Average SAT is 1290. Average ACT is 29. And your most popular colleges are going to be RIT, Binghamton, and University at Buffalo. So 12-to-1 student to teacher population or ratio rather, and your median household income in Honeoye Falls is $77,000. You have a B+ for cost of living, A- for housing, and A+ for good for families. So HFL is a great area. I know plenty of people who have graduated from HFL, and they just make great members of society over there in HFL. It's just, they're all hardworking, kind of blue collar, and their academics prove that. They're just good at what they do. They take pride in almost basically everything that they do, and they really care about their youth over there in HFL. So great area. Coming in at number 8, this one is actually fairly surprising as well. And really, it's just because, like, I remember when I was going to school, keep in mind, I graduated in 2012. So when I was in school, Rush Henrietta wasn't anything like, we had no competition with them. We just didn't know much about Rush Henrietta, but we always thought that it was just like a, not really a great school. But joke's on us, because Rush Henrietta comes in at number 8, and my high school doesn't come in even in the top 10. It's actually number 12. So Rush Henrietta has come a long way since then, and which is why it's number 8 here on the list. Overall niche grade for Rush Henrietta Central Schools is an A. So you have A- in academics, A in teachers, A- in clubs and activities, A in diversity. I think that's the best diversity rating that we've seen. A in college prep, and B+ in administration. So Rush Henrietta is great. It's number 28 for athletes in New York State, and number 45 for most diverse school districts in New York State. And then it comes in at 98 for best school districts in New York State. So your average graduation rate is 91%. Average SAT is 1220. ACT is 28. And your most popular colleges are going to be RIT, University at Buffalo, and St. John Fisher University. So really great school there. Your student to teacher ratio is going to be a 12-to-1. And Henrietta is becoming one of our favorite areas around Rochester, primarily because of cost of living. Taxes are a lot cheaper there, and there's just so much going on around Henrietta. So you have a B+ for cost of living, you have an A- for housing, and you have an A+ for good for families. So they have great family like fitness centers over there. They have great gyms over there. They have an amazing public library over there. It's huge, and recreational center. So Henrietta is becoming amongst some of the favorites of our clients who are moving to the area. Their median household income is just about $74,000. So like I said, Rush Henrietta, when we were going through school, wasn't anything to be desired, I guess. But I think maybe I was just, or, we were just so focused on Canandaigua being what we thought was the best because we were living in it, that we didn't realize that Rush Henrietta crept up on us and became a better school according to these surveys and polls. So Rush Henrietta, number 8, great school. And number 9 is Spencerport Central School District. Spencerport has always been, as long as I can remember, in the top 10 of school districts in the area. It comes in with an A rating on niche.com. It's an A- in academics, A- in teachers, A+ in clubs and activities, a B in diversity, A- in college prep, and an A+ in administration. Spencerport is located just about a little bit northwest of Rochester City, and just great location. It's number 29 for top athletes in New York State. Number 115 in New York State for best school district, and it's number 186 in best places to teach for teachers in New York State. So really great school, 93% graduation rate. SATs are average 1210, and ACT is a 27 average. Now, this is where things kind of change up a little bit. Your most popular school is going to be SUNY Brockport, and SUNY Brockport is super popular in Spencerport because Brockport is essentially the next town over from Spencerport. So Brockport has good athletics, good academics and everything, but it's so close to Spencerport that why wouldn't they go there, right? They basically get to stay at home. They don't have to pay for boarding or any of that. So that comes in at number 1 for most popular college there. University at Buffalo is number 2, and RIT is number 3. It's 11-to-1 student to teacher ratio. And Spencerport as a whole, the township, is an A- overall. It's a B+ in cost of living, B+ in housing, and an A for good for families. So average or the median household income is a $75,000 roughly. And so Spencerport is a great town in a great school district. It's it feels like it's like really kind of out in the country. There's a lot of land out there. And so, you know, if you were to go out there, you would think that a lot of the outside of the village of Spencerport, you would think that it's a bunch of like corn-fed, you know, country bumpkins, right? But they're not. They're great athletes. They're great in academics. And overall, it's just a phenomenal township. And coming in at number 10 is Webster Central School District. So located just northeast of the city of Rochester. Probably about 15-20 minutes or so. Overall niche.com grade for the Central School District is an A. So you have A in academics, A+ in teachers, A- in clubs and activities, C+ in diversity, A in college prep, and A- in administration. It is number 99 in New York State for best teachers, number 119 for best places to teach in New York State, and it is 122 for best school districts in New York State. So Webster is a great area. Average graduation is 96%. Average SAT is 1240, and average ACT is 28. Your top colleges are going to be RIT, University at Buffalo, and St. John Fisher University. It has a 13-to-1 student to teacher ratio, so a little bit more than what we've been seeing the average is. But Webster as a whole, it comes in at an A- for a niche.com rating. And B in cost of living, B in housing, and A for good for families. I love Webster. I love the location being just on Lake Ontario. It's just fantastic location, and I mean, you really can't beat it. Median household income is $81,000. So personally, I love Webster. I think it's a great area. I think it's, you know, it's beautiful. It's right next to Lake Ontario, so it's just phenomenal. Close to Irondequoit, close to Rochester City, but you also get a lot of green space out in Webster too. Now, the caveat to Webster is that, you know, your taxes are going to be a little bit more expensive out there. So that's really it. That's really the only downfall of Webster. But that being said, guys, I'm a little bit bummed because my high school didn't even make the top 10. Came in at number 12 rather, right underneath Hilton at number 11. Hilton Central Schools is number 11. Canandaigua City School District is number 12. So again, I'm bummed that Victor beat Canandaigua, but hey, it is what it is. Number 12 is still great when considering, you know, all the other schools in the area. So, but, you know, I don't have a kid in the school district and I'm not in the school district anymore. So I guess it doesn't really matter to me. But for you guys who are moving to the area, that is the top 10. That's 2023 best school districts in the Rochester area. While it's not necessarily the most fun video, it is super important if you're bringing a family here and you're looking to raise your kids in the area. School districts obviously are going to be one of the most important things. And so I hope you got something from this video. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday and Thursday that I release a new video. And as much as I love making these videos on all things Rochester and Finger Lakes living, I would love even more to help you with those real estate needs. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, I would be honored to be the team of choice for you when you're moving to the area. Help you kind of make that move as easy and as stress-free as humanly possible. That's our goal here. So without further ado, guys, we'll see you next week. Bye.